An abundance of caution. I'm going to bring in now Traderade co-founder Ayesha Tariq, and let's talk about this. So, first of all, Ayesha, is this abundance of caution, is it warranted?
Yes, Charles, I think so. Thank you for having me back. I really do think we need to be cautious. I think, Lance Roberts covered quite a lot of that, but at the same time, we are going into a seasonally weak period. We talked about this before as well, but I think the most important thing here is earnings are being questioned now. So valuations are being questioned, and with the kind of market action that we saw recently, it was drastic, but it's still quite mild when you look at it. So Goldman Sachs put out a chart which really showed that, the movement has still been quite mild compared to previous years. So we think any longs would be very low conviction longs here. And so therefore it should, we should be cautious going ahead.
So, I was just asking Lance about liquidity. I want to get your thoughts on that, too, because, it's like we measure liquidity and of course, also this is the era of excess leverage. You've got 3 times, 4 times, not just ETFs, but we have ETFs on individual stocks. I mean, does this worry you? Because one of the big worries I have, one of my big macro worries, is the financialization of our world, not just the markets, but our governments and everything else, where money is designed to make money, or this, it's just, when do we get back to just good old-fashioned, crunching numbers?
Yes, it does worry me a little. And what worries me even more is when people buy calls on those triple leveraged ETFs, That's like leveraging over leverage, right? Yeah. So yes, when people do play with this, and it is fun to play with it, we have to admit, it's always nice to see, sharper moves.
It's like a slot machine. It's like, oh man, cherry, 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 yay, yeah.
Exactly. But at the same time, I think when we do play with such, I want to say, instruments or vehicles, we ought to be a little bit more careful and lower our position sizes, put stop losses in place. I learned the hard way that we need to put stop losses when we do play with such things. Yeah. But yes, when we come to liquidity, so there's one thing of liquidity in the system, but as well, because it's the summer, we have fewer people trading. So that's another issue as well.
So, you started this whole thing out speaking about caution. I know you're telling folks right now is not the time to buy the dip, so you're getting more defensive. Talk about, you're looking at utilities. I know you're looking at staples. How does the audience get more cautious? Add some to balance out their portfolio.
So 2 things. One is hedging, if you are comfortable doing that. So we would, I'm not saying that you need to completely rotate out of what you have, but if you can put hedges on what you already hold. And then the other thing that we're advising is sort of to go into some of these more defensive picks. And if you look at, the sector rotation over the last couple of weeks, you'll see utilities has actually topped the chart. Utilities year to date, I think it's up double digit now already. Right. So a little bit of, let's say, adding to the defensive side instead of just completely rotating.
All right. Ayesha, always great to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.